This is the Jocko Underground podcast number 152. Sitting here with Echo Charles, who sometimes thinks he needs to make his statements.
I'm doing the best I can over here.
You are your attitude in that whole exchange.
Which one?
The one we just had before you hit record.
Sure.
You really thought you were right. Hey, if I don't know, this is just a hint for future reference.
Sure. What's the hint?
If I don't know I'm right,
Sure.
I won't even like remotely imply that I'm right.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, no, it's this, and you say, well, you're going to be wrong.
First off, I didn't say well, and I didn't say it like that either.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I see what you're saying, and look, my attitude was off. You're correct about that. But can an attitude just exist? It doesn't have to be right or wrong. See what I'm saying? What I was saying was wrong.
Yeah, and your attitude was wrong as well.
My attitude was off. Yeah. It was incongruent for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
all right. Nonetheless, we got to the bottom of it, and hey, here we are. So.
Yeah. There's no more question on that subject matter,
Nope.
but we got some questions from the people.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
let's see what we got.
Yes. Okay. So first question. I recently started dating a woman my age, and I've had the opportunity to get to know her family, including her grandmother and her mother, 46 years old. I've stayed at their house a few times and have developed a relationship with them. Unfortunately, her family has fallen on hard times. While I'm not in a position to fully support them financially, I've tried to help by covering small bills when I can. Her mother is understandably under significant stress, and I've witnessed occasional outbursts involving yelling, screaming, name-calling, and other erratic behavior. My girlfriend mentioned that bipolar disorder runs in the family, but I'm not a psychiatrist. Recently, I didn't send my girlfriend $40 for the clothes that her mother wanted her to have for a new job. My girlfriend herself didn't want the clothes. This triggered one of her mother's outbursts, and she called me disrespectful, a bad boyfriend, and more. My ego got the better of me, and instead of staying calm, I made the mistake of attempting to quote-unquote put her in her place.
How'd that work out for you?
Her mother later sent me a text that I interpreted as a partial apology. Rather than leaving it there, I responded with a lengthy message stating things like, I'm not going to tolerate that behavior, and respect is earned, not given, so you should check yourself if you want respect. My response was disrespectful and inappropriate, and she understandably took offense. I'm no longer allowed to stay at her house. That's weird. I deeply care about my girlfriend and recognize that maintaining a positive relationship with her mother is crucial for long-term success in our relationship. I failed to detach from the situation, let my emotions take over, and made a poor decision in the heat of the moment. How do I fix this, if possible?
Well, I hope that you already fully apologized and took ownership of the situation. That would be the best first move. I maybe even write a letter, like an apology letter. Sorry. Maybe some flowers, something like that, if you're really trying to patch things up a little bit. And then it's just going into the relationship building 101, right? Trust, listen, respect, influence, and care. That means, you're taking care of their daughter. You're listening to what, sorry, hope I won't come over. Treating them with respect. This is not going to clean up easy. This isn't like, oh yeah, just tell her to give her the old 1, 2, 3 combo. Mm-hmm. Flowers, apology, and, a bottle of wine, and everything will be good to go. It's not going to work like that, dude. The mother-in-law is going to she might even hold a grudge indefinitely, by the way. So keep that in mind. So if you do that, if you just are respectful and listen to what she has to say and, treat her with respect, like just all those things, over time, you might be able to rebuild somewhat of a relationship. And I say might, a little emphasis on might, because it sounds like there's some level of irrational behavior in this scenario. And irrational people do irrational things, and it's very difficult to rationalize with irrational people. So, irrational people aren't thinking about they're not thinking like we think. They're not thinking like a normal person. Like because you did that, you're a hateful person that's going to beat their daughter. It's an irrational thought, but this is the kind of thought that she's going to have, and there's nothing you can do to change her mind. That is possible. So just this is going to be rough. You know what I mean? And it sounds like a volatile family. It's like a volatile family situation, which is just use caution there. Be prepared to have to detach often. And by the way, it sounds like you had a really hard time detaching. I mean, when you have time to reply to a text and you take the time to write the text and you didn't detach enough to not to recognize what a bad situation you're going to put yourself in, that sucks, because you're going to be having to do this all the time. With a volatile family like this that's having hard times and has people that are bipolar in it, like, this is chaos. You're going to have to be a pillar of calmness and rational behavior, and even that's not going to work at least 50% of the time, because you're in a family that's chaotic and irrational. So you're going to have to not get wrapped up in the mayhem. Cannot get wrapped up in the mayhem. And listen, family is part of the calculus when it comes to relationships, man. Yeah. You ever heard the thing like, oh, she comes from a good family?
Yeah, of course. Comes from a good family.
So that's usually considered to be a positive thing.
Usually, yeah.
Right? No one's like, oh yeah, my wife comes from a broken family with a bunch of drug addicts and they're super stoked about it.
Super stoked. No, they're not. Yeah, typically.
Now, look, I'm not saying it comes from a perfect family. And by the way, there's people that come from terrible backgrounds that are the most awesome people. And there's people that come from awesome backgrounds that are terrible people, right? Like, there's a wealthy family with the mother and father intact and they're all great and they're lovey-dovey and they go to church every Sunday and their freaking kid is a psycho, right? That happens.
Yep.
There's also the alcoholic dad that's totally abusive and crazy and it's just total mayhem, and the kid is 100% squared away. So that totally happens. But you need to think about that. Think about, like, what are you seeing? What are you seeing in this scenario? Is the daughter like, yeah, my mom will never be like her? Or does she emulate her behavior? You need to pay attention to those things. Because, if this is a long-term thing, you're getting married, you're marrying the whole family. You're marrying the whole family. Now, you can marry you can marry the family, but keep the family out of it. That's possible. Might not go over too well, but just think about it, man. Just think about it. Yeah, that's what I got, man. It's going to take time. You messed up. I'm not a miracle worker.
You
know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like, this is not an easy to save situation. Yeah. A bipolar, irrational mom that you pissed off, it's not going to go over well. And by the way, you pissed them off in like a written way.
Yeah.
Like a documented way. Like, they'll go back and read through that. Remember when you told me this? Like, you really screwed up. So even it. You say, my response was disrespectful, inappropriate. She took offense. Yep, exactly. So it's going to take time, dude. Time. Quite a bit of time, in my estimation.
When you and your current wife, when you guys were dating, did you meet her parents early on?
Early on. I met them probably a year into the whole gig. Yeah.
That's kind of late on. Really late.
Maybe, yeah.
Kind of.
They lived in England. I was here in America.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like we were walking down the street and knocking on
across
the door.
Yeah, got you. Can you think of, off the top of your head, any not good, but any we'll say, for lack of a better, acceptable reason to get into an argument with your mother-in-law or girlfriend's parents?
Maybe if they were physically attacking my wife and trying to beat her.
Yeah.
Maybe like a high level of verbal abuse. But even that, when you say, I wouldn't, obviously, if my wife was being beaten by someone, I would intervene and save her and, handle the situation. But even like a yelling, screaming parent, I'd be like, okay, we can leave now. Conflict would be the lowest form of my response, the least probable form of my response.
Yeah.
My response would be de-escalation and avoid and probably leave. Not storm off, but like, hey, we're gonna head back. I got a call from work. I got to get back early, so we're gonna leave tonight.
So perfect then. So that So a way to determine to establish terms, we'll say, get into argument means not de-escalation, because de-escalation is literally the opposite of getting into an argument, right?
So I'm not
in whatever way,
argument,
right? None, right? I mean, I get. When do you because technically, and I'm here with this guy trying to figure it out as well. Thankfully, I've never got into argument. I never saw any value in getting any kind of like escalated argument.
Yeah. With anyone.
Well, I can't say with anyone.
But I mean, but honestly, when's the last time you had an actual argument with someone?
Yeah, fully. And as an adult, especially after this outfit was established, no.
Like, no, why don't you go?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
When's the last time you did that? Why don't you do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to tolerate this.
Yeah. You listen to me. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is crazy talk.
Bro, I felt weird just saying it as a hypothetical. So, yes.
I'm not going to tolerate this.
Yeah. So it's kind of like if you just have that consciously to be like, there is no circumstances with very few exceptions in the world to escalate, or should I say not de-escalate the situation. Mm-hmm. Just know that.
We are de-escalating.
De-escalating 100%. No matter how disrespectful, no matter how much you think, what did he say? Respect should be earned, and I'm not going to tolerate this, like all this stuff. Yeah, it kind of feels like it. Yeah. Right? I can't find it.
And what really kind of sucks is this is an opportunity for you to like gain a lot of leadership capital. Because she knew she was wrong and sent a text that was a partial apology, that's an apology. Yeah. Look, it might not be well crafted. It might not be fully sincere, but there's some portion she knew she was wrong. Yeah. And you have the opportunity to be the bigger man. Take the moral high ground and be like, hey, all understood. Just, I'm glad it all worked out. You're right. Like if there's anything she needs, I'm here. And those clothes, would she look great in those clothes? And you know what I mean? Whatever the thing is, you can just take that moral high ground and just come off like a better person.
Here's actually a tip, which I said a long time ago, but I think it's very important to remember. You can't say you're taking the moral high ground. You can't say I'm being the bigger person. So watch out for that, because some people, that's how, right? You know what? I'm going to take the high ground on this one.
I'm going to take the moral high ground on this one.
Yeah, you jammed it up.
That's right up there with calm down. You know what I mean?
I think you might be right about that one.
So we're not doing that.
I do.
We're not praising ourselves.
Yeah. No, not at all.
At the expense of the other person.
Yeah, fully. Like, when you're like, I'll take the high ground. I'll be the bigger person. You know what that means?
Yeah, you're the smaller person.
You're the smaller person, by the way, in this scenario. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get back on your goods. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think, personally, with the flowers, like, get flowers or whatever, I think that'll have more weight than you might think.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, as soon as you said that. That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.